You know, some book hauls are big, and then there's ones that are just, for lack of a better word, epic. And we got to talk about that word when we talk about the month of May. Hey, what's up, bookworms? Mike back with another book haul, this time for May of 2023. Lots of amazing new things have been added to this ever-crowded library I do have here in my home office, and we're going to talk about those guys as per usual. I love to tell you guys thank you so much for the things that you do send me, and I like to show you what they look like in case you're curious about getting them on your own. That's the whole point of a book haul. So right up front, thank you guys so much for everything that you sent to me this month. It is really special. But guys, as always, let's begin where we usually do by talking about, you know what, digital purchases, because I always do say that they count. I added a few things this month. A couple of them actually kind of surprised me because I read Greatcoats way back when. I mean, the channel was barely even a year old. I think that was like my first read-along really on the channel. And I was always anxious for the next thing that Sebastian de Castell put out. And for some reason, I missed The Malevolent Seven. I don't know how this one just kind of flew under my radar. I was waiting for Play of Shadows for so long. I think I just forgot about it. So then this book came out of nowhere, completely missed it. Had lots of people ask me, are you going to be reading and covering that? I don't know how I missed this one, guys. So sometimes there's just so much going on. You miss some things. You miss a big release. But I want to go ahead and pick up the digital copy for when I do have the time to kind of fit it in. Because like I said, I love the Greatcoats, and I'd love to visit what Mr. Castell is doing again here in the future. So we do go ahead and pick that one up. I also picked up the next Brandon Sanderson Secret Project book. The shortened title is The Frugal Wizard's Guide, something about medieval England. I'm not really sure. It's quite the unique name. I went ahead and picked that up on digital. No idea when I'm going to read it, guys, because if I recall correctly, this one is not a Cosmere book. And really, up to this point, I've really only read the Cosmere books of Brandon Sanderson. But you could correct me if I am wrong on that one. But I knew there are a lot of Sandersonians that have been kind of underwhelmed with this one. I don't know. What did you guys think? Why don't you let me know down below? And lastly, guys, I picked up a couple of books because I had the first one on physical. Still have yet to read it. That was Bone Shard Daughter. And I just said, hey, I have not got these on physical yet. Let me go ahead and just pick up the whole thing on digital. This is The Drowning Empire by Andrea Stewart. I don't know very much about the series. I just know that a lot of my peers that really do read a lot of the same things that I read have had great things to say about it. So I went ahead and picked up book one again, but also 2 and 3 in case I do decide to do that series next year. I would have, all 3 ready to go. But that's it for the digital purchases, guys. Only a couple of physical purchases this month. If you guys don't know, I did buy a PlayStation 5. That kind of cut into my funny money this month. But there were a couple of editions I did get. I talked about it in digital last month, but I started trying to go ahead and get the physical because I'm addicted, guys. That's what I'll do. I'll buy something on digital because I say it's hard to find physical, and then I just get this little itch and I can't stop until I find it. Well, I got books 1 and 2 of Paternus by Dirk Ashton. I found them in a matching, nice trade covers. I haven't been able to find a matching one that has the same height as these on Amazon yet. There are some, but they're a little astronomical, so I'm going to kind of be patient and wait and see if I can find book number 3 at my used bookshop eventually or something like that to kind of complete this set. But again, Paternus is a series. I have been sold it as it is Percy Jackson for adults, and that sounds really cool because I'm enjoying Percy Jackson and all of the Rick Riordan books with my 11-year-old. And it feels weird now to say 11-year-old. Yes, 11. Well, wow, how fast time goes by. And lastly, guys, this is just a beautiful edition, and I had it on my standalones list to read this year. Don't know if that's going to happen, but I would very much like to because this is just a stunning, stunning edition. I know people have such amazingly divisive opinions about Snow Crash. One person will love it, the next person will say it is absolute garbage. I don't know where I'm going to fall on this. I've heard a lot of people say it wasn't very much the influence for Ready Player One, and I could see that for sure. But as far as, again, what this is about, not totally sure, but this edition is just stunning, and I'm glad I went ahead and picked it up. Had a nice little deal on it, on a gold box deal one day on Amazon. I went ahead and said, I'm going to go ahead and get that, because I did already have the digital version, but now I shall be reading from this stunning new edition right here. But again, as far as what that's about, guys, couldn't really exactly tell you. I read the synopsis when I was doing my standalones, but outside of that, not really sure. But Neil Stephenson's an author that's been recommended to me a bunch, and I think maybe that would be one that I would like to check out. Next up, guys, we got a lot of books again from authors this month. And again, some of these I'm not familiar with. I will drop the link down below if you guys want to check out some of these independent self-pub releases or things that are coming straight from a publisher. I want to make sure that you guys do check out the links down below and check these out if they sound interesting for yourself. So I'm going to present them here. And like I always say, guys, if you are a self-published or indie author, I encourage you to chase your dreams as always. This one is from Ryan Sprague. This is called Stories from Somewhere in the Skies. And again, like I said, looking down below, me and Ryan actually emailed back and forth a couple times. This one is called No Place for Heroes by Justin Harnick. That looks very First Law, doesn't it? Looks like those hardcovers of the original First Law trilogy that I do have. Again, look for the link down below. This one's kind of interesting. This one's called The North Woods by Douglas Hoover, who actually sent me a nice note. I appreciate that, Douglas. But here's the thing about it is when I got that, he also sent me this. And I opened this first. Let me explain the thought process here. Now, I've been kind of joking with it. My kids being like, hey, it's a knife. Yeah, here's the thing, is I opened this first. Yeah, it's real. It's real. So I opened this up first, and I was like, is this a death threat? I had no idea. And then I opened his letter and saw that he said he is a knife maker in real life. And my man, that is nothing more hardcore than that. That is awesome. So thank you for this. I don't know how I'm going to try it. I'm going to try to display this somewhere. Just not quite sure. Because, I do still have young kids who think it's cute to mess with stuff like that. So I'm not quite sure. I don't know. I'm just glad I didn't get inspected or something, through customs when that came through. But thank you. That's very, very lovely. And I'd like to see more of your art. He dropped an Instagram link, guys. I'm going to drop an Instagram link below if you want to check out his knife making stuff. Next up, this one came straight from Broken Binding via Daniel T. Jackson. By the way, Broken Binding, their packaging skills, unrivaled. They cannot be touched. I wish we could get a Broken Binding in the States. Because right now, it's just I have one rule about shipping. I will not pay more than it costs for the book. And that kind of eliminates a lot of those special editions of Broken Binding made. But Daniel T. Jackson did send me the first 2 Illborn books. This is another one of those self-pub authors, like a Ryan Cahill. I said, it seems like it came out of nowhere. Now I can't stop hearing about them. And these are big, big boys here, but they are very, very handsome. I've heard nothing but great things about Illborn. I think there was one person on my Discord who's saying that it wasn't really for them, but I think every other person I've talked to has said these are really, really great. Patrick really highly recommended these to me, as he tends to do. He always is able to get me, like he's able to get a lot of you. But thank you, Daniel. These are really, really gorgeous, and I look forward to the day I do get to those. I don't know if it's going to happen this year, but I am going to try to get to them early next year at the latest, at least book number 1. This one, Christopher already sent me the original on trade paperback, but he sent me this beautiful naked hardcover of the Hellborn King. This is also another one I want to try to fit in when I can. Christopher, awesome guy. Looks like a Viking, as you can see there. Yeah, really, really awesome dude. A great Twitter follow. And this is beautiful, man. Thank you so much. I promise you I'm going to get this one in as soon as I possibly can. But yeah, it looks very very similar to the Brian Lee Durfee 5 Warrior Angel covers, doesn't it? That's a good thing. That's a good thing. That's stunning art right there. I love a good naked hardcover, man. Look, I love my dust jackets, but if you do a good naked hardcover just right, it's just perfect. Dude, got one more big one. One thing I've learned since I've started getting into a little bit more self-pub is the authors love to mingle with us commoners, and they love to talk to us, and they're really just excited that anyone's giving their books a try. And I think that's very endearing. I've always said to me, a cheat code for me is if an author actually will talk to you on social media, email, messages, text, anything like that. And one of those authors who's been doing that a lot for me has been Ryan Cahill, who I just mentioned. So much so that I reviewed The Fall for him a while back when I first read it, and he asked me if I would mind doing a blurb for him for this special edition of The Fall he's going to have made. So I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but yes, that is my first actual official blurb to actually make it into publication. I've had several authors ask me for a blurb, never makes it on there. So hey, Ryan, you never forget your first, man. So I appreciate you giving me that opportunity. I appreciate you sending me this hardcover of the fall, which is really great. Spoke to Ryan earlier this week, but obviously, guys, he sent me more than that. He sent me his entire series on hardcover. I already talked about A Blood and Bone on the channel, or Blood and Fire. I always say A Blood and Bone. I'm so sorry. It's just so similar to John Gwynn's name, a series that John Gwynn did. But A Blood and Fire, I already talked about that. But guys, these are crazy, crazy cool. He actually told me he sent me the wrong one of this, of Darkness and Light. He sent me the one that's got the misprint on it because they don't have this at the top anymore. So I got kind of a collector's edition of Darkness and Light, a book I finished last week, and it's awesome, guys. I'm going to be reading this one next. This is The Exile. This is a novella on Dane and his story about his exile, and I'm very excited to do that because Dane was one of the coolest characters in book number 2, so excited to do that. And then, of course, guys, the biggest book I've ever seen in my life. This is book number 3 in that series. This is Of War and Ruin, which I'll probably be doing in July/August because I don't pretend I'm going to get this in the same month that I'm reading Gone with the Wind in. So this book, I think it might be longer than Gone with the Wind. I think he said it's actually like a 20,000 words longer than A Storm of Swords by George R. R. Martin. So, hey, cool. This is the greatest thing, I think, when you can be your own writer, director, and producer of your books, is, you don't have anyone telling you, yeah, you got to get that. You got to get that size down. But these are stunning, stunning hardcovers. They look amazing on my shelf. Much more so than that I originally bought the fall paperback straight from Amazon. The quality was a little low on it. So the fact that Ryan wanted to send me these hardcovers, obviously, that makes him like the coolest cat in the world, because I know shipping from New Zealand isn't cheap, and I appreciate him doing that, especially as heavy as these were. But I'm enjoying his series a ton. So he didn't have to send me anything for me to be talking about how much I love that series, but I do appreciate that he did. It's really, really just amazing generosity, and I do appreciate it. And I'm glad that I got to talk to him on the channel. As you guys see now, he's such an awesome guy, and great accent, right? Just such a great accent. How about some stuff for some publishers, guys? Did a couple of those. This one's called Rada by Tracy Joyce. Rada? Am I saying that right? Rada? Hope it's Rada. This one is called Tribe of the Accord by Sean Michael Stone. And if any of these came directly from the author, I do apologize. If they don't come with a note, or if they just come with the publication letter, I just think that that's just coming straight from the publisher. And this one I kind of got in trouble with my wife, because when I opened it, we were kind of having like one of our little banters back and forth. Not a fight. We were just having a good time. We just goof around like that. Dude, I'm married to a redhead. You don't fight with them. But I just kind of was joking around with her. I said, hey, look, somebody sent a book about you. It's called it didn't go over well. But No, You're Crazy by Jeff Beamish. So thank you guys so much for that. And then this one, guys, I'm actually reading this right now as we speak. This is The Will of the Many, sent to me straight from Saga Press. We got that whole issue, the logistics issue we're having worked out. I actually did a giveaway for them for this one on Twitter. So guys, if you aren't following me on Twitter, you missed your opportunity to enter to win a hardcover of The Will of the Many. So always follow on the socials, guys. I know it's hard on Twitter. I'm a hard follow on Twitter. I know, because book people don't want to hear me talk about sports, and my sports people don't want to hear me talk about Twitter, but I do both on there. It's just... That's it. You got to put up with some of the tweaks there if you want to follow me on the socials. But hey, I do fun things like that. Yes, I do. Let's go ahead and close this down, guys. Talking about some things that some viewers sent me this month. There are a couple question marks here because there were a couple of things I'm not really sure of. I did get these 2 books by Rob J. Hayes, Titan Hoppers. Here's the thing: is I asked. It came without a note. And I actually messaged Rob and said, were these from you? He said, absolutely not. He's self-published, so I can't say they came straight from the publisher. So I'm assuming someone sent these to me. So thank you very much. If you would let me know it was you, it would solve a great mystery for me. Because right now I'm really like, that's interesting. That rarely ever happens. Usually something like that, I'm able to track down who it is eventually, but no, it came in not traditional packaging either. It looked like it came from a publisher, so I don't know. I'm really confused. You could solve a great mystery for me there if you let me know that it did come from you. The one I don't have in my possession is, guys, I have an Amazon wish list, and you can go on there and see if anyone has purchased anything for you. And I did just go on there and look, and it looks like, and this is the second time this has happened, apparently. So this book apparently is cursed. I don't know if it was the same person or not, but someone tried to order me Streets of Laredo. That's the sequel to Lonesome Dove. And it never showed up. So I want to make sure that if you are the person that's doing that, I'm not ignoring you. I never received it. Amazon won't let me do anything about it. It's not from me. It's not anything I can do about it. I can measure them and say, hey, I never got this. And they're like, well, the person who ordered it has to, file a claim for any action to happen. So I hope you'll do that. If you're the person that keeps doing this, trying to send me Streets of Laredo and it's just not getting here, I don't understand what the problem is, but I just want to make sure that I am aware of it, and it's a thought that counts, and I do appreciate it. But you might want to get in touch with Amazon because it's not getting here. I don't know what the problem is. Maybe it's getting lost on that trail ride somewhere between Montana and Texas. This is one of the most amazing things I've ever forgotten. Joseph has got me a lot of stuff from Folio Society because he's a maniac, and I love him. Thank you so much, Joseph. You're so kind. This one I just kind of made a joke about recently, like, wow, I think it's time for me to upgrade because I still have that original book club edition that's beat to hell of Pet Sematary by Stephen King, and Folio Society announced that they had this amazing new version out, and Joseph said, hey, I got you, and it's as beautiful as you would expect, guys. Look, this is one of my favorite Stephen King books, obviously. It's one of his most legendary, and now having this stupid handsome edition, it's going to make a reread just absolutely magnetic. Guys, Folio Society, if you don't know anything about them, their art is just incredible. It makes the experience so immersive and just unique. No matter how many times you've read it, sometimes Folio Society is better, So, I mean, guys, this is just awesome. Awesome. I have this in the Misery one now from Folio Society. And I hope they don't do all the Stephen King stuff again because I've got to keep buying them. But Joseph actually picked up the tab on this one, and I appreciate that, sir. This is absolutely lovely, and I can't say thank you enough. I don't know what I did to earn your favor, but I am so happy that I did. You're such a kind and caring soul, and I do appreciate it very, very much. Next up, this one comes from Eldon. He actually got me this shirt, this Metallica shirt. It's a little big for me, but you know what? I like that. I think back to when I was in high school and I was wearing these rock shirts. All my clothes were baggy because it was the 90s and that was just the style. We were really, really weird like that. But I appreciate this. This is a shirt I used to eyeball back in the day. I always wanted. It has like the representation of the first 5 Metallica albums. Very cool. But he also sent me these Funko Pops of Drist and Guinevere. I don't know if I can get the camera to focus on it. He actually sent me a message saying that he was going to try to get them autographed because he lives close to R.A. Salvatore. But then he said he couldn't, so don't worry about it. If I want to take them out of the box, I can go ahead and separate. I'm not that kind of collector. I definitely plan to take them out of the box. I'm going to put them up there with all my Drist books on that shelf. But this is so cool. Thank you. I know some people have hot takes about Funko Pops. I think they're fun. I would never be one who collects like millions of them, but a few on my shelves. I think it brings a little personality out. And it's so cute. I mean, come on. There, that one doesn't glare. Look at that. That's so stupid cute. So anyway, I love Drist. I love Guinevere. So I'm excited to add them to the family. Eldon, you are awesome. Thank you so much. This one is kind of ridiculous. I couldn't believe it when I opened it. Lauren sent us Hogwarts Legacy. Now, here's the thing about this is Hogwarts Legacy, if you don't know, very popular video game based off the Harry Potter franchise. She sent me the Xbox One version, which I had on my wish list when it first was announced. We had since upgraded to a PS5, so I hope she doesn't mind. Lauren, I hope you don't mind, but we did go ahead and exchange it for the PS5 version, and that's what we have here. But this is the kindest thing ever, because you guys don't know these games aren't cheap, and you've given us hours of entertainment value, so thank you so much for that. It means the world, and I hope to see you on the Discord again. I'm pretty sure you were on the Discord once, and I think you split. I don't remember. Maybe I'm wrong. Next up, guys, this one is actually from my friend Lee over at Creatively Crafts. You guys have asked me about a lot of my coffee mugs. A lot of my coffee mugs I do order from Lee over at Creatively Crafts. I'm going to drop her link down below, but she sent me some Red Rising stuff, guys. Tons of good Red Rising stuff. She makes these awesome House Mars mugs, and of course this House Mars t-shirt. See this. And the cool thing about this, guys, is we're going to be doing a giveaway of these. So here's the deal. I did my last giveaway on Twitter. I think I'm going to do this one on Instagram. So guys, make sure you're following on Instagram because I'm going to be giving away a House Mars shirt, the Institute, and a House Mars Institute coffee mug. Don't know if I'm going to do it together. I'm going to do it separate, but we are going to be doing that. So make sure to do that. Make sure to check out Lee's store. And thank you, Lee, for sending me these. I can never have enough Hail Reaper stuff. It's very, very cool. Very, very awesome. This came from... Actually, you know what? Let's talk about this one. This mug right here came from Elliot, one of my patrons. It is the end of the Prancing Pony from The Lord of the Rings. I love this mug. I have not stopped using it since you sent it, Elliot. Thank you so much. I love it. It's so cool. It's shaped so well. The weight is great. It holds the big coffee like I like to make. This mug is just divine. Thank you. Thank you so much. You guys just continue to be absolutely amazing. This one actually came from Madison. It came last month. I forgot about it. It got buried on my counter. When we were doing our readathon over on the Keymark Discord, Madison headed up a group, and everyone that was in her group, she sent them some gifts. She sent me some vinyl decals of Game of Thrones, which is something that that her and I actually, became friends talking about, was Song of Ice and Fire. And I think that's very cool. I don't know where I'm going to put them yet. I was thinking about sticking them to the side of some of my bookshelves, but I don't know. What if I've got that huge section of Song of Ice and Fire stuff over there, but I'm like, what if I have to move that shelf? I don't want to put those decals anywhere. And lastly, I did get my card from my pen pal Judy, who is going to be reading Tawny Man soon, and I'll be interested to see how you do feel about it. But guys, that was everything. Quite a busy month. I'm just so excited that you guys continue to think of me and want to send me stuff. It's just the kindest gesture you could possibly do. I do appreciate everything that you guys do. In the end, the best thing that you can give me is your time to watch these videos. But the fact that I enter your thoughts when you're thinking about spending your own money on something is just overwhelming. I can't believe that anyone would decide to do that for me. So thank you again so much. And I would be interested, guys, in knowing what you picked up in the month of May. Why don't you drop in the comments, let me know what you got, and I will talk to you guys there.